You know, those captivating love stories that could have stepped straight out of a Hallmark movie script? Well, it turns out these romantic tales aren't just reserved for the movies. Whether he's a prince or just a regular guy, Cassidy found herself head over heels for Steven Hussar while they were teaming up on the Hallmark Channel's flick, A Royal Christmas Crush. These co-stars, playing Ava the architect and Prince Henry in the 2023 rom-com, knew there was some serious spark between them when they crossed paths on set in Canada back in March 2023. Now let me tell you, the attraction was instant. But here's the twist. Cassidy had her doubts about working closely with another one of those oh-so-handsome Canadian actors. But you know what they say, sometimes you just can't resist fate. And that's exactly what happened here. She ditched those reservations and found herself totally drawn to Hussar. What sealed the deal, though? Well, apart from their on-screen chemistry, it turns out they had a mutual fascination with crystals. Talk about an unexpected connection, right? It was during the filming of one of their scenes in A Royal Christmas Crush that things really started to sizzle between them. In May 2023, they went public with their romance. Cassidy even spilled the beans during an interview saying, "I remember there's this one scene in the barn where I literally am looking at him, and that was the moment for me. I'm not kidding you, I'm leaning on the table and he's saying his lines and I think I almost fell over." And get this, Steven spilled the beans that their similarity attracted both of them to each other. Moving on, we've got Kevin McGarry and Kayla Wallace. Those charming faces from When Calls the Heart didn't just steal the spotlight on TV, they managed to capture each other's hearts too. It all kicked off in 2019 when they hopped on board the When Calls the Heart train. Season 6 of the Hallmark Channel series is where the magic began. They slipped into the roles of Nathan Grant and Fiona Miller, but here's the twist. While their characters weren't romantically entangled, McGarry and Wallace were brewing up a real-life love story behind the scenes. Here's the good stuff. Over a year after we all met this duo on the TV show, McGarry spilled the beans on social media. He shared a bunch of Polaroid snapshots with Wallace in November 2020, officially confirming that they were an item. His caption, "Photo evidence." Yep, no need for Sherlock Holmes on that one. They teamed up for their first joint Hallmark Channel movie, Feeling Butterflies. And guess what? The journey didn't stop there. They took the lead in 2022's My Grown-Up Christmas List, proving that they're not only good at acting, but also at lighting up the screen together. Now, here's the big kicker. December 2022 saw them taking things up a notch. McGarry decided to put a ring on her finger. He proposed, and their Instagram video announcing the engagement was just pure heart-melting goodness. Their caption, "Forever." It's like they're narrating their own romantic movie and we're all in for it. Off to these two, let's call them the Dream Team, first crossed paths while shooting The Sweetest Heart back in 2018. Yes, I'm talking about the beautiful couple Chris McNally and Julie Gonzalo. Now, in the movie, they played former flames who found their way back together after 14 years apart. Welcomed their very first bundle of joy. Talk about a surprise party. These two are the epitome of low-key. They've mastered the art of keeping things private, which honestly makes total sense in this age of constant attention. McNally, the When Calls the Heart star, had hinted at having a girlfriend before, but he was keeping her identity a mystery. But here's the kicker. Eagle-eyed fans put two and two together when they noticed the same furry friends in both Gonzalo and McNally's Instagram snapshots. Sneaky, right? Now get this. McNally spilled the beans about his lady love in January 2019. He was all about his adorable pups. "I am mostly focusing on the puppies. My girlfriend and I each adopted a puppy, so I'm looking forward to being home with them when I can," he revealed. Moving on, Colin Donnell and Patty Muir didn't exactly have a fairy tale beginning in real life. They started out in a rather ordinary way. Considering their glamorous careers, they first crossed paths at a mutual friend's birthday. But believe it or not, it took a whopping 8 years for their friendship to evolve into something more romantic. Yep, that's right. The initial spark was strictly platonic. They lived in the same neighborhood, so chance meetings were common, but let's be clear, they were more like friendly nods than close confidants. Interestingly, chemistry wasn't in the air just yet for Muir. And guess what? She wasn't even in the market for a relationship at that point. In 2013, both Colin Donnell and Patty Muir scored roles in a revamped musical take on Shakespeare's Love's Labour's Lost. Now here comes the juicy part. The turning point happened at a pre-rehearsal bash hosted by Muir. Amidst the festivities, sparks flew. And no, it wasn't just from the champagne. Let's just say a tipsy moment led to a memorable smooch that changed everything. Fast forward again. Once the decision to tie the knot was made, things moved at warp speed. A December proposal paved the way for a June wedding, proving that when it's right, it's right. And if you thought their chemistry was only reserved for the stage, think again. They also graced the screen together in the Hallmark movie Love on Iceland. And boy, does their connection sizzle even then. Before we move on, make sure to hit that subscribe button for weekly videos like this one, and to really show your support, become a member today. Today's member shout out goes to Brian McDonald. Next up, We're about to uncover some seriously cool stuff about Rachel Hendricks and Daniel Stein. Sure, you've probably caught glimpses of them in loads of Hallmark Channel flicks, but guess what? These two are like hidden gems with careers that shine outside of the Hallmark world too. So Rachel, she's not just an actress, she's a jack of all artsy trades. Think artist, singer, and musician all rolled into one. And get this, she's got that southern charm, hailing from Alabama. Now Daniel, he's no slouch either. Not only has he shared the screen with Hendricks in Vindication, but he's got his own little production venture called Rushaway Pictures, cranking out short films like nobody's business. Now here's where it gets even juicier. These two aren't just co-stars, they're actually real-life lovebirds. They crossed paths while cooking up the 2016 film Virginia, Minnesota, a project where Stein wasn't just acting but also wrote and directed. And guess what? The script of life took a turn, because in 2019, they tied the knot for real. Oh, but the fun didn't stop there. That same year, they teamed up once again for another Hallmark treat, Midway to Love. The thing is, their off-screen chemistry is like fireworks, and that's probably thanks to their own love story. Moving on, we've got Erin Krakow, the star we all adore, is expanding her family. But here's the twist. It's not what you might think. The Hallmark sweetheart pulled off a surprise move that had everyone talking. She uploaded a pic of this ridiculously cute black and brown pup on Instagram. Turns out, this little furball wasn't just any pet. It was Erin's new addition to the crew, and while the picture would have melted the coldest heart, it was her words that set the rumor mill spinning. She wrote, "We adopted him a week ago, and I already can't imagine life without him." Hold up, did you catch that "we"? That's right, there's more to this story. The next day, the plot thickened when Ben Rosenbaum, another familiar face from When Calls the Heart, showed up in a snap with the same pup. His caption? "He's a dream come true." And there it was. The puzzle pieces fell into place. It was like a confirmation that everyone had been hoping for. Not only were they probably dating, but it seemed like this wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment thing. Now hold your horses, because neither of them actually dropped the official label on their relationship. But hey, actions speak louder than words. Right, and let's not forget, they're all about the pupe updates on social media. They definitely look close here. It's not over yet, because next I've got the scoop on Victor Webster and Chantel VanSanten. They crossed paths back in 2017 on the set of the Hallmark flick Love Blossoms, where they played the lovey-dovey duo Violet Chappelle and Dec Granger. They went from co-stars to something more over 4 years, finally sealing the deal with an engagement in February 2020. And guess what? VanSanten couldn't stop gushing about it, saying, "It was the most perfect, wonderful day of my entire life." She was over the moon about marrying her best friend and made it clear that relationships are like a wrestling match. You gotta put in the effort. She summed it up perfectly. He's the head and I'm the heart. They might have their fiery moments, but those differences in perspective allowed them to grow and see life in a new light. So fast forward to 2021, they tied the knot, sealing their love. But hold on tight, because life isn't always a fairy tale. Less than 2 years later, Webster filed for divorce, and the love story took an unexpected turn. Off to Eric Winta and Rosalind Sanchez's romantic journey. They've been together for a solid 15 years. Now, Rosalind isn't just any regular person. She's a Puerto Rican singer, songwriter, and actress who's rocked the screens in many shows. The two crossed paths at a party in LA back in 2005 and hit it off. Fast forward a couple of years to 2007, and Eric took the plunge and proposed. But here's where the tale gets all kinds of charming. He popped the question during a kayaking trip through a bioluminescent bay. Rosalind didn't need any convincing, and she said, yes. In 2008, they sealed the deal with a breathtaking wedding in Rosalind's hometown. 4 years into their marriage, they welcomed their baby girl. And a bit later, another bundle of joy, a baby boy, joined the crew. But wait, there's more. These two aren't just a powerhouse couple behind closed doors. Nope, they teamed up in the 2019 Hallmark flick, A Taste of Summer. Moving on to Eloise Mumford and Brett Dalton, who have whipped up a storm of whispers, all thanks to their gig in the 2021 flick, One December Night. Now here's the deal. While these two aren't exactly shouting their personal stuff from the rooftops, they're totally on the Instagram train. Right after One December Night hit the screens, the rumor mill went into overdrive. People were like, are they or aren't they? But these two kept things hush-hush. Well, sort of. Turns out, eagle-eyed fans spotted a few hints on their social media accounts. And guess what? Dalton, in a now-deleted Instagram post from June 2022, dropped this little bomb. Love is in the air, and now in my heart with Eloise Mumford. Yep, he put it out there. His feelings for Mumford were totally on display, like a modern-day romance unfolding in pixels and posts. Lastly, we have got Jocelyn Hudon and Jake Manley, those familiar faces from Netflix's The Order, have just teamed up for a Hallmark movie. But here's the twist. These two aren't just co-stars, they're actually married in real life. Now, let's get into the details. They actually crossed paths through their self-tape coach, but the real magic started at a party thrown by their mutual agent. It was like fate had a plan. Jocelyn spilled the beans, saying, "We ended up driving to our agent's summer party together and have been together ever since." In a chat with Entertainment Tonight. And here's where it gets really cute. In 2021, they took a plunge down the aisle. Well, technically, to Las Vegas. Yeah, you heard that right. They went all out with an Elvis impersonator officiating their wedding. Talk about a story for the grandkids, huh? So, while they might be lighting up our screens in Hallmark movies now, their love story is already a blockbuster in real life. Out of these real-life Hallmark couples, who's your favorite pick? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed our content, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, everyone.